So I had Joanna Cole, who's the author of The Magic School Bus. I just kind of chose her because I grew up reading and watching a lot of The Magic School Bus, even outside of school, because it was just me and my siblings' favorite books. And she's just like a very fun and adventurous children's author, so I thought she was a good person to research. So, a little bit of background. She was born August 11th, 1944, in Newark, New Jersey. She currently lives in Connecticut. She's also written over 250 books, and she's most famous for writing the series Magic School Bus. She attended three colleges: the University of Massachusetts, Indiana University, and then later on graduated from City College of New York with a BA in psychology. She then married Philip Cole and had a daughter named Rachel. A few interesting facts. She didn't first become a writer. She spent a year as a librarian, and then as a librarian, that's when she wrote one of her books, the first one, The Cockroach. Then she was a children's book editor, and then she finally became a writer. So in fifth grade was when she actually realized she liked writing and to explain things. She spoke in an interview that she enjoyed writing reports and stuff like at that young age, and that she realized when she was like talking to people, she just really enjoyed like to explain whatever topic she was talking about or whatever she was in general talking about. So that's where her love for that came from. And then she also loved science as a child, and she had a science teacher, which later on she portrays in one of her books, Miss Frizzle. This teacher that she had, each class, she had a child come up to the front of the classroom to complete an experiment in front of the whole class. And Joanna Cole said that she always wished to be that student every day, and that teacher just made class super interesting, and super fun, and the kids were always engaged and made her love science. So that's why she went into writing science children's books. Her first book was Cockroaches, and it came out after she read an article in the Wall Street Journal that inspired her to complete research and find out that there had never been a children's book written about cockroaches. So she got to work and she wrote her first book on cockroaches. And in one of her interviews or one of the articles I read, it said that she lived in New York in an apartment alone. So she said that she had nothing else better to do than to write this book. So she said she got right to it. A few characteristics of her writing. She's a child's author. She writes nonfiction and fiction. With nonfiction and fiction, she kind of mixes both just in all her books because they're all about science in a way. Like there's weather, there's going into the earth, the human body, insects, stuff like that, like all science topics, but then also takes the children on adventures that obviously would never happen. The bus flies, they have like ginormous creatures to like talk about them, so it just keeps the children like interested and fun. She tries to ask a lot of questions in her book so that the child gets to really think and then later find those answers in the book. She likes to write more ideas than facts so the students continue to think and keeps them more engaged. So she likes to show them, the children in the book, like doing activities and making mistakes so that later on in the book they're like, do you know why that happened? Now you can see this. And then later on in the book they'll find the answer. A quote she says is, take chances, get messy, make mistakes. And this is exactly what Joanna did in her lifestyle. This phrase is often said by Miss Frizzle and the Magic School Bus, and Joanna was inspired by many young people to learn about science and the world around them by using fun and laughing. So this quote really just follows her all around. A few awards she has. Many of her books have received best or notable citations from the American Library Association or Book and School Library Journal. She's also gotten the Garden State Award for nonfiction, and all of her books have been named Outstanding Science Trade Books for Children, Child Study Association of America's Children's Books of the Year. She also has Colorado Children's Choice Award, Washington State Children's Choice Award, and both of those were for her book, The Waterworks. And then she has another Garden State Award for nonfiction for another one of her books, Inside the Human Body. A few links. Here's one of her links. This is Joanna Cole just talking about her writing in her first book that came out. So this is just basically her coming to the point where she wrote her first Magic School Bus. She said that she had plotted down ideas, so she knew that they were going to take wacky field trips. They were going to have this crazy teacher, this outgoing teacher, but everyone's favorite teacher. She just didn't really know how to put it together. She also talks about how she worked with her illustrator and just how they worked together. And there's another link, but this one's a Scholastic one. And this one's just basically, it has her whole page. It's not really about her. Like, there's like a little bit of biography about her, but this just shows like her newest books than her originals. So these are the ones that I was talking about. Her nonfiction, her experiments, printables, and then like a little bit about her, and then a little bit about Bruce, who's the illustrator, and like how they work together and stuff. It's a really cool website. It's just by Scholastic, and just so you can like get a little summary of each book, whichever book you're interested in. So those are a few of her live links. Project with the students. So I would be using the Magic School Bus presents insects. So the kids will be able to go outside and observe what insects they see outdoors and come back inside to write about them. This activity will let the kids stay active and engaged, observing outside and working on their writing skills when they come back inside to write about what they saw. A worksheet will be given to them to answer the question of what did you find outside, or what kind of insects did you see. I'll start the class off by reading the book so that they can learn about insects, what kind of insects they'll find outside, and about them. Then I'll take them outside. They'll come back inside to complete their writing part. And then if there's enough time, which most likely there will be, I'll be able to play the film of this book so that they just have like a little cool down, like brain break, but like at the same time still staying on topic. The standard I used was writing, and then it was research to build and demonstrate knowledge, and it was W18 with guidance and support from adults, recall information from experiences, or gather information from provided sources to answer a question. So I think my activity fits that standard because they're going outside from experience, looking at everything that they looked outside. They're going to gather all their information, what they collected outside, come back inside to answer the question that I asked them of what did you find outside, what kind of insects did you see. And then the professional review, the link's the blue one, and this article reviews her series of the Magic School Bus, and it's from Books Linked. It's called The Magic Behind the Magic School Bus. So I found 2 quotes in there, and it says, with its unique blend of fact and fiction, Joanna Cole and Bruce Deagen's Magic School Bus series broke new ground in children's literature. Another quote I saw was, is there anyone in the education or library world today who doesn't know Miss Frizzle and her Magic School Bus? What an impact these books have had on the children's publishing world. Joanna Cole and Bruce Deagen's series was revolutionary in many ways, including the unusual author-illustration partnership, the book's groundbreaking format, and their blend of fiction and nonfiction, creating a truly engaging new experience for children. So they said that they have like an interesting, unusual author-illustrator partnership. In one of her interviews that I watched, it said that they never really communicated. I'm sure they talked before, but said they usually, when they were writing their books, they wouldn't talk straight to each other to hurt each other's feelings. They would have their editor kind of relay the message, saying like, oh, like, if Bruce didn't like one of her jokes and didn't think it was funny, he would tell the editor, and the editor would tell Joanna and be like, oh, like, let's see if we can edit this joke a little bit, just so like there was never any problems between them and like ruining relationships or the partnership. So these are a few of her first 3 books. They're not exactly her first 3 books, but there's The Magic School Bus Inside the Human Body, which came out in 1989. The Magic School Bus Inside the Earth came out in 1987. And then her first book was Magic School Bus at the Waterworks. So the Human Body one, all of these are just a bit obvious with the title, what they're going to be about. They just go on like fun adventures. The Human Body, they all start off by like in class, in a regular classroom, and then they take a bus that flies and shrinks down or gets larger for them to get inside the human body. Instead of like seeing an exhibit of the human body at a museum, the class will take a look at one of the students' stomach, his intestines, his bloodstream, and from inside the heart. So they get to experience like their body parts, and the teacher will explain what each body part does. And then inside the earth, they basically are going to study animal homes. So there's a beehive and a wasp nest and an ant farm and a beaver lodge right in the classroom. So they shrink down into each to get to know like those like animals' homes. And then the waterfall which was her first one, they dive into like a magical cloud where the children shrink and they go into like a water droplet and they follow the course of a water through the city's waterworks system. So they get to see that like the raindrop, like the whole like water cycle. And it's just really cool because it's the real science concepts, but the way that she portrays it would never happen, but it opens the minds of children and their imagination and their creativity, and it just makes it more fun and more interesting for them to capture that information. And then these are my references. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys like the Magic School Bus as well.